Hey there, Joy Seeker. Welcome back for more Gen Juice. I'm Jen Zingmark, your LDS life and divorce coach, here to help you navigate the challenges of divorce with faith, grace, and resilience. Let's talk about love. It is Valentine's week. So let's talk about love. What is it really, and how can you experience more of it in your life? Love is often misunderstood as something we give or receive from others. But the truth is, love is an emotion, it's a feeling we create within ourselves, and it is not something someone else can control or grant us. It is ours to cultivate. But before we dive into the truth about love, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. That way, you won't miss out on any more tips that are way more real than your favorite rom-com. And hey, if you love the content, you'll get a virtual high five every time I post. All right, I'm going to tell you the truth about love, and it's not what you think. The way to invite more love into your life starts with you. So often we seek love and approval from others because it feels good. It is our human nature to want to be liked and appreciated. It's way our brains are designed. But if we are searching for external validation to feel lovable, we'll always be chasing it. Love isn't something we have to earn or prove ourselves worthy of. It is already within all of us. Think of a time when you received a compliment that made you feel good. Maybe a friend told you you were doing a great job at work, or a family member reminded you how strong you are through a tough time. At that moment, you probably felt great, right? But did that compliment change who you were? No, it simply reflected your inherent worth. When you internalize this thought that your value isn't dependent on what others think, you step into a place of true self love. You are inherently lovable because you were created that way. God designed each of us as unique and 100% worthy and valuable. When someone gives you a compliment, you have a choice to accept it as a reflection of your worth, but you don't need it to define who you are or feel lovable. Relying solely on others to help us feel loved is really risky because it places our emotional well being in their hands. So I want you to recognize your authenticity is more important than others' approval. One of the biggest love blockers is people pleasing. When we try to mold ourselves to fit others' expectations, we immediately start to lose our authenticity. If you constantly seek validation from others, you'll find yourself shifting and changing to accommodate what they want. But in doing this, you also risk losing touch with who you really are. For example, I've worked with many clients who constantly change themselves to fit into a group of friends or colleagues, thinking that if they just adjust a little bit, they'll be more accepted. One client, Jessica, came to me feeling exhausted from pretending to be someone she wasn't in her marriage. Over time, she realized that when she stopped people pleasing and began to show her true self, her spouse really did love her and accept her for her authentic self. But she had to take that risk and being vulnerable with who she really was. Instead of focusing on whether people like you, spend time getting to know yourself. What do you really enjoy? What lights you up? What are your core values? The more you embrace your true self, the more love you will naturally attract, both from yourself and others. Next, I want you to release the fear of rejection. Not everyone will like you, and that is okay. The way people perceive you is more about them than about you. If someone dislikes you for your faith or your personality or for any reason, it doesn't change your worth. For example, my faith is essential to who I am. It is part of my core being. And some people may not resonate with that. And that is perfectly fine with me. I've had people tell me that I talk too much about my beliefs. And at first, I kind of took that personally. But then I realized that their reaction was more that I talk about their comfort level with my faith than mine. This realization helped me to stand firm in my faith and my beliefs and the way I share my beliefs without needing anyone else to agree with them. The same applies to any other aspect of your personality, whether it's your sense of humor or the way you communicate or your interests. If someone finds you too talkative, then you can decide whether that's something you want to adjust or simply accept that not everyone will vibe with you. And that is completely okay. I totally agree with what Jody Moore says that I'm not for everyone, and that's okay. You should try that on and see how it feels. So let's talk about the truth about love. Love isn't a transaction. It is not something we earn or trade or demand. It is a feeling we create with our thoughts. When you believe that you are lovable, you feel loved. You generate love when you think kind, compassionate thoughts about yourself and about others. I have witnessed this through coaching my clients, especially in my Faithful Divorce Coaching program. One of my clients, Chris, struggled with feeling rejected after his divorce. He felt like love was given to him if he proved himself worthy. And after his marriage ended, he just felt like such a failure. He couldn't feel good about himself. But as we worked together, he realized that he didn't need to earn love, that it was always available to him. By practicing self love and compassion, he shifted his mindset and started attracting healthier relationships with people around him. Your lovability has nothing to do with how others treat you. It is about your capacity to love yourself and others. And that applies to other people too. Their ability to love you is all about them and their capacity to love. It has nothing to do with how lovable you are. Even if someone doesn't express love towards you, it doesn't diminish your worth or lovability. If you struggle with self love, it's not because you're not lovable. It's because you haven't yet chosen to embrace and recognize your own value. And this is something you can change with work and effort. So let's talk about shifting your mindset. We are all conditioned to focus on our flaws, both in ourselves and others. It is just the way our brains are wired. But we can train our minds to see goodness. When we train our minds to focus on and look for goodness, the more love we will experience. Loving yourself isn't about arrogance, it is about appreciation and recognizing your own value and worth. God created you uniquely and intentionally. Recognizing your worth isn't bragging, it is having gratitude and appreciation for God's creation. One of my clients, Dawn, was struggling with her body image after a difficult period in her life. She spent years criticizing her appearance and feeling like she wasn't enough. But when we worked on shifting her thoughts to focus on her strength, her beauty, and her value as a human being and a person, she began to see herself differently. It wasn't about pretending to be perfect, it was about acknowledging the goodness that God created within her. When we spend less time criticizing ourselves and more time appreciating who we are, we develop a healthier, more loving relationship with ourselves. And that self love then spills over into all of our relationships with everyone in our life. So, how can you create more love in your life? I want to share 5 steps with you. The first is practice self compassion. Speak to yourself with kindness and encouragement, just as you would a child or a close friend. Second, let go of people pleasing. Stay true to who you are rather than molding yourself to fit other people's expectations of you. Third, reframe rejection. Understand that when someone doesn't like you or love you, that is a reflection of their perspective, not your worth. Fourth, choose thoughts that generate love. Actively think loving thoughts about yourself and about other people, even those who have wronged you. And fifth, trust God with your healing. Surrender your pain and your resentment to Him, allowing His love to fill in those gaps where others have let you down or fallen short. The beautiful truth, my friend, is that love is always available to you. No one can take it from you, and no one else is responsible for giving it to you. When you stop depending on external sources for love and start creating it from within you, you will experience more love than ever before in your life. You really are 100% lovable. The question is, are you willing to believe that? I sure hope so. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If this episode has spoken to your heart, I would love for you to share it with someone else who could use this message. And if you are ready to do the deep work of reclaiming your identity and healing after divorce, come and join me in Faithful Divorce, where you will find support, tools, and a community to help you walk your divorce journey with strength and grace. And if this video has made you smile, think, or just feel a little less alone in your love journey, hit that subscribe button. And don't worry, I won't flood your inbox with unsolicited love letters, but you will get all of my latest videos, best tips, laughs, and maybe a few more love truths coming your way. So subscribe and keep the good vibes rolling. And until next time, keep holding on to your faith and keep stepping into that beautiful, powerful, divine design God has given you. Bye, y'all.